Welcome. In today's explainer, we're going to take a moment to just pause. We're going to reflect on some timeless wisdom that can help us find our way with a little more clarity and maybe a lot more peace. Let's get into it.
We're kicking things off with this because, honestly, it's the core idea that ripples through everything else we're about to explore. I mean, think about it. How often do we find ourselves waiting for that perfect moment to start something new? This is such a powerful reminder that we don't have to just sit back and let life happen to us. We can actually be the ones creating our own experience. So, what does it actually mean to create your moment? Well, our first theme dives right into the power of initiative. It's really about understanding that the biggest journeys and the most amazing changes, they don't just happen by luck. They're built, one small, deliberate step at a time.
Now, what's so interesting here is the focus on these tiny actions, the kind of things we usually overlook. The source material really emphasizes that you don't need some huge, dramatic gesture to change your life. It can be as simple as taking one single step in a new direction, or maybe speaking one sincere word to someone you care about, or just making that brave decision to finally start something you've been putting off. These are the little seeds from which massive change can grow.
And this illustrates the point perfectly. Taking action isn't a one-and-done thing, right? It's a daily practice. The person who dares to begin, who creates their own moments, they're essentially the author of their own story. So, what new chapter are you going to write in your life today? But you know, creating your moments isn't just about taking action. It also requires a really solid internal foundation. So our next section explores two of the most crucial pillars of that foundation: inner peace and courage. And as we're about to see, these aren't things you go out and find, they're things you build inside yourself.
The source draws a really important distinction here. So many of us are on this external search for peace, right? We think we'll find it when we get the right job or move to the right city, but that kind of peace, it's fragile. It depends entirely on your circumstances. The real goal is to build a sense of calm within yourself that can handle the storms of the outside world no matter what life decides to throw at you.
And this idea goes hand in hand with peace. Courage isn't about being fearless. The source is super clear on this. It's about feeling the fear and taking that step anyway. Just think about a time you were scared to do something, but you did it. In that moment of action, didn't you discover a strength you never even knew you had? Okay, so if we're building our own path with inner peace and courage, where do we find the wisdom to guide us along the way? Well, our next section argues that the lessons are literally all around us, hidden in plain sight in our everyday lives.
This might just be the most powerful tool the source offers. The next time you're facing something difficult, instead of just gritting your teeth and enduring it, try to just pause and ask yourself this one question: what can I learn from this? It's such a simple shift in perspective, but it can reframe everything. A challenge becomes a teacher. An obstacle becomes an opportunity to grow.
And hey, it's not just situations that teach us, it's people. The source suggests that every single person who crosses our path brings a message meant just for us. So think about it. Who are the teachers in your life right now? What are they teaching you about patience, or love, or maybe even your own strength?
And just as we learn from others, we have this incredible power to impact them. Don't ever underestimate the power of one. Today, just try it. Offer one small smile to a stranger, or one kind word to a friend. You might never know the ripple effect of that single act, but I promise you, it will be far greater than you can possibly imagine. Okay, this next theme, it kind of requires us to take a deep breath and shift our modern mindset. In a world that's all about speed and instant gratification, what can we possibly learn from the incredible strength found in just being patient and persevering?
So the really crucial point here is that maybe we need to redefine success. It's not about how fast you get to the finish line or how much you can achieve in a short amount of time. True success, according to this wisdom, is all about the journey itself. It's the ability to keep taking those small steps, day after day, without losing that fire inside. What does true success really look like for you?
To really illustrate this, the source tells this beautiful little story. It starts with a simple but profound request from a child to a wise man: "Teach me patience."
And the wise man's response, it's so simple, but wow, is it deep. He doesn't give some long lecture or a complicated explanation. He just points to nature and says, "Go and see how the flowers grow." He's asking the child to just observe the unforced natural rhythm of life.
And that's the lesson. A flower doesn't strain and struggle to become a bloom.
A seed doesn't rush to become a tree. They just grow in their own time. What would it feel like to align yourself with that natural rhythm, to trust the process of your own life instead of constantly trying to force an outcome?
All right, let's move to our final section, which really ties all these ideas together. It's all about how the perspective we choose to have and the faith we choose to hold can completely shape our entire experience of life. And as we're about to see, perspective is everything.
So, let me ask you, are you living life like it's a race or like it's a personal journey? Because if it's a race, you're constantly looking over your shoulder, comparing yourself to others, stressed about where they are. But if you see it as your own unique journey, the only thing that matters is your own progress, your own growth. Which path feels more like yours right now? And on that journey, where do we find happiness? It's not in the big, monumental events we're always waiting for. The Source reminds us that happiness is woven from these tiny, everyday details. The warmth of the sun in the morning, the sound of a friend's laugh, a simple, kind word. Today, I challenge you, find 3 small moments of joy and just really savor them.
And finally, the Source points to an ultimate source of strength. It suggests that a deep faith, whether that's in a higher power, in the universe, or even just in the goodness of humanity, can serve as the strongest shield you can possibly carry. It gives you a sense of peace and resiliency that helps you navigate pretty much any challenge that comes your way. So, we end with this. Because life isn't just about what we get, it's about what we give. It's not measured by what we own, but by the impact we have on others. The Source is asking us to think about our legacy, not in big monuments, but in the small traces of kindness, light, and love we leave in the hearts of other people. What trace will you leave?